Chapter 1 1. September 11, 2019, San Francisco, California. Tom Ellis stared at the pop machine in the break room and tried to decide whether to have his usual Diet Coke or get wild and have the Diet 7-Up. On the sofa, against the far wall, 2 security guards were napping on their breaks. One snored softly, his face covered with a paper napkin. A lot of the guards were Russians. They seemed to gravitate to the private security jobs in San Francisco. Tom had no idea why. They were shitty jobs as far as he could tell. In the other direction, an ancient flat-screen television bolted to the wall was tuned to CNN, the quietly muttering digital background for every public area in the United States. On the screen, American Airlines Flight 11 was just slamming into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Even though he'd seen the replay dozens of times over the past 18 years, he felt a moment of disorientation. For one tiny instant he was there again, in that moment of every American's past, staring for the first time in shock and disbelief at the now iconic moment. Then he looked back at the pop machine, decided to stick with the tried and true, and punched in the numbers for his usual Diet Coke. At his age, he had to watch his weight pretty carefully. Nothing happened with the Coke machine except that its lights went out, along with the overhead lights. A battery-powered emergency light over the door suddenly threw a garish yellow glare over the room. This can't be good, he thought. He held his breath. But the room didn't begin the gut-twisting rock and roll he'd last experienced 30 years before during the Loma Prieta World Series quake. So at least it wasn't the big one everybody in California was waiting for. The sleeping guard awoke with a snort. He cleared his throat. "What?" he said, his Russian accent thick and gluey. He sounded confused. "Power went out," Tom told him. "Just hang on, it'll probably be back in a second." He nodded at the 2 guards, then headed out the door. He turned down the hall to the elevator foyer, went to the big windows overlooking Mission Street, peered out. Down below, all visible powered vehicles, cars, buses, delivery trucks, were stopped dead. A couple of bike messengers were weaving around the stalled cars. One bus driver was out at the back of his bus, jiggering with the 2 flexible poles that connected it to overhead power cables. "Shit," Tom muttered. "Not an earthquake, then, but maybe worse than that. Maybe a hell of a lot worse than that." A trick of the light superimposed his own image on the windows as an overlay atop the weird scene below. He saw the lined features of a 58-year-old man, a man of less than 6 feet but still in reasonably good shape, with short brown hair streaked with gray, blue eyes, and deep vertical lines at the bridge of his nose, giving him a perpetually scowling expression. Then the light shifted again, and his image vanished. For some reason that seemed portentous, and sent a shiver through him. He ignored the elevators. He knew they wouldn't be working, and used the stairs to descend to his workspace on the 1st floor. The stairs were lit by harsh, bluish battery-powered emergency LED lights. He made his way through a small government-issue cube farm to his desk, pulled his backpack out of one of his desk drawers, opened it, took out a small package wrapped in aluminum foil. He removed the foil to reveal a walkie-talkie radio and the 3 batteries for it rubber-banded together in a plastic baggie. He put the batteries in the walkie-talkie and slipped it into his jacket pocket. He hoisted the backpack onto his shoulders, unfolded his Dehan collapsible bicycle from where it was propped against one side of his desk, guided it one-handed toward the exit. "Hey, Tom, where are you going?" His supervisor, Margie. She had a harried look on her face that matched the unsettled tone of her voice. "Out to see what's going on," he told her. "You can't just leave. It's only a power outage. It'll come back in a minute." Tom paused. "Margie, listen to me. You live here in the city, right? Out in the avenue somewhere?" "Well, yes, but what—" "This is more than just a power outage. If I were you, I'd take off now. Get your coat and purse and head for home. You'll have to walk, but you can probably get there in a couple of hours if you push it. Then go to the grocery and buy everything you can think of that will keep. Canned meat, chili, stuff with lots of protein and calories, fatty stuff. Get as much water as you can. Push the